Well, what's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here, and this is Arrow Season 6, Episode 6, Promises Kept. So, this is probably going to be the last of the good episodes this season. Kind of disappointed. But yeah, let's talk about first the thing that obviously nobody really wants to talk about, so I'll just kind of fly through it. Yeah, Diggle and the team dealing with this whole, trying to take down these guys that are being thieves. Diggle's dealing with the shakes again. He goes to his dealer. We meet the dealer, so obviously, since we meet them in this episode, likely this is going to be the episode where they finally, they have to stop with the John taking the drugs, and that's pretty much what happens. They comes to realize that apparently the guy that they're trying to take down is the guy who's been supplying all of these drugs for him and for a bunch of other people as well. And so he's dealing with all of this. He tells Lila she's rightfully pissed. At the end of the episode, the warehouse blows up, so there's no more drugs for him. He tells the team they're rightfully pissed, but they're all like, yeah, it's okay, man. We're good. You've saved me enough time, so we're okay. That's pretty much it. It was boring. And the thing about it is, through all of this, I'm just thinking, who cares? Who cares? Yeah, John has the shakes. We've known this. We've known this for a long time now. He hasn't told anybody because he's an idiot. We know this. I mean, even at the end of the episode, Curtis points out some of the biggest flaws. He's like, dude, I made a chip that can made a woman walk. And I'm just like, exactly. That's how stupid this whole storyline was. Why did he lie about it in the first place? How come these trimmers are so bad that he can't actually shoot a gun when the guy's like 3 feet in front of him? It's just been such a stupid storyline, and the show even pointed out how stupid it was. So my question is, if you're aware of how stupid this storyline was, why was it a story in the first place? So yeah, that's my biggest problem through all of this, is that this was even a story in the first place. The fact that it got this much focus. It got an entire half of an episode, which frankly, it should have just been dumbed down to maybe 15 minutes of this episode, so we could have more time for the important stuff, the interesting stuff. But no, we got about half of this episode, so it was the typical about 25 for one and 20 for the other, and it's just I'm bored for half of the episode now. I'm just sitting there waiting until we can get back to the Slade stuff, because that's what I want to see, because that's interesting, because Slade is awesome, his character is great, the acting is great, the action is great. You get back to the other side, the characters are bland, the acting's average, the action sometimes can be cool, but for the most part it's just bland. It's like, there's no comparison. How is it that we have this show that's gone on for 6 seasons and we have not once considered, hey, let's give Deathstroke his own show? That would be fun. That would be interesting. Watching this episode, all I'm thinking is, I want a show with Slade. I want a show with Deathstroke. And now you've got the perfect setup for it. You've got his son on the run. You got him being just a total badass. Make it happen. Okay? Quit this whole Arrow crap. We're done with Arrow. Even Oliver, your main character, is done with Arrow. The show's over. You're done after this season. I don't know. On IMDb, it says they have season 7. There's no way. You can't continue after the season. It's been so bad. It's been so boring. Half of your episodes have been Oliver dealing with family problems. That's how stupid this show has gotten. You've got to end this show now. But you've got Promise because you've got Deathstroke, the show. Make it happen. That needs to be a thing. So let's get to the interesting stuff. You've got... I think I may have thought of this as a suggestion of what might happen in this episode in my last review. I can't remember because it's been a while now. But I'm pretty sure I thought that they might do this where Deathstroke decides he's going to pretend to join his son because, that's one way to keep yourself alive, and it's another way to be close to your son as well. So he does that, but Oliver, of course, isn't going to let that happen because not only is it dangerous for Slade, but it also is helping his son do some terrible things, and he's not going to allow that either. So we see Oliver trying to help him out, trying to stop his son while also getting through to his son, because we're seeing these flashbacks of Slade back when he got picked up off the ship after Oliver stabbed him in the eye, which, another great idea. And it tied in a little bit better this time than the flashbacks in the last episode did. Because like I said, those flashbacks were just kind of drive-by flashbacks. It was like quick, not a lot happened. You couldn't really get connected to it. This one though, slightly longer flashbacks. It was a bit more interesting because we get to see kind of the transformation of him waking up, his son being there, they're training together at this facility, but then Shadow is in his mind and she's popping up again and she's telling him, you gotta get Oliver, you gotta go get him. He's like, no, he's dead. And then all of a sudden it pops up on the television that Oliver Queen has been found alive. And that's when he goes on a rampage and he puts on the Deathstroke costume and leaves his son there alone. So we kind of see how his son was sort of created through all of this. But we get an even bigger twist at the end because we find out that it actually wasn't this moment where he leaves that turned his son into this crazed psycho killer that he is now. We actually find out that what we saw in the last episode actually did have a point to it because his son actually saw him kill that Chinese spy. And so because of that, he started following in his father's footsteps. And we come to find out that apparently he had a brother that his mom never told Slade about for some reason that he actually killed. Yeah, don't know if this is just something that he threw in there to distract Slade for a second because Slade kind of had him beat. But if it's not, then we definitely need a Deathstroke show because this is something we can work with. This is interesting stuff. I want to see more of this. God, this is what we could have been having. I don't understand. The writers for the show have got to have some sort of like schizophrenia or multiple personality disorder, something like that. Because to see the two compare and contrast, you look at the Arrow part of this show, with Diggle and the team and all that, stupid, bland, boring. You look at the Deathstroke part of this show, and holy crap, it's awesome. All of these story elements, all of this stuff with his son, with his brother, with Oliver helping out, this is what I loved about the show in Season 2. This is what made Season 2 so interesting, was these complex characters and the decisions having to be made in these situations. And what do? It made it tough. And that's what I miss about the show, is that nowadays, who cares anymore? The decisions being made are stupid, half of them don't lead to anything, or if they do make a bad decision, oh, well, I'm sorry, we'll move on now. And there's no weight to the decisions anymore. Here, it feels like there's weight to every decision they have to make. Does Slade decide to kill his son or not? Does he let his son just have the victory and kill him or not? All of these decisions, it feels like there's weight to them. And I've missed this. I've missed this. There was a slight upturn whenever Adrian Chase was revealed as Prometheus, because it felt like he actually started adding weight to the show, when he started bringing back Oliver's past, and it really started treating him like he was this horrible human that he started off being, and there felt like there was weight to Oliver's decisions in the past. It was like, wow, this is really deep, this is really interesting. And then you cut all of that off, and then turn Oliver into one of the comments I've seen a lot of, Family Man Oliver. That's just, now there's no weight to any of his decisions. The worst thing that could happen to him is, his son might not like him for the night, which every son and father has to deal with that at some point in their lives. So, yeah, there's no weight to the show anymore. With Diggle and the team, I don't feel any weight there because it feels like, John's been lying to them for who knows how long. He got Renee shot. He tells them finally after all this time, and what do? You're good, man. We're good here. We're all good. I just think you're kind of dumb, but whatever. We all think you're kind of dumb. So we're all good and happy-go-lucky. There's no weight to decisions anymore. I know I've been saying wait a lot. I apologize, but just wait 1 second. It's just so frustrating to see something so good in a show that's so bad. Because it makes me feel like we could be getting more of this. We could be getting more of this Deathstroke story that we see in these past 2 episodes. This was interesting. This whole story with Deathstroke was interesting. And it's frustrating because now we got to go back to Oliver being a family man. Even at the end of this episode, he goes back and Felicity's there. They're playing Injustice because, DC comic book characters and we got to get product placement in there. Buy Injustice, guys. And then Oliver's just like, I learned something important today. I learned that I'm okay with not being the Green Arrow. And I'm just like, great. So that means we're going to get even more bland story about you being a family man and looking after your son. And oh, it's funny because I really did enjoy this episode because of all the Deathstroke stuff. Like, I was so into it. I was so excited to be watching it. It was a lot of fun. But every time I got really excited, all I could think was, this is it. We're going to go back and all of this is going to be gone. Oliver's going to go back home. All of this is going to be done. And I'm just like, how do I get excited now? What do I have to look forward to? Honestly, as Slade was walking off screen into the smoke, I'm almost like in tears, like, come back. You're the only thing that's making this show watchable. I wasn't actually almost in tears. Over-exaggeration. But seriously, like, there is just nothing else. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the high note that this season is going to hit. That's probably going to be it. I don't care about this guy that Felicity helped release from prison. I don't care about Black Siren. I don't care about Diggle and the team. I don't care about Felicity and Oliver. I don't care about Oliver and his son. I don't care about any of this. Because they haven't made me care. And now that's what I've got to go back to. Because Slade's gone. The only interesting thing walks off into the distance, into the smoke, and I'm just like, goodbye, Arrow. That was it for this season. I guess I'll tune in every week and be completely bored until the crossover event where I realize that Arrow, for some reason, their night sucked, and Supergirl's night is probably going to suck, and then the Flash and Legends of Tomorrow nights is probably going to be interesting. So yeah. It feels kind of weird to rant about an episode that I actually really did enjoy, but honestly, it's frustrating when you can enjoy something about a show only to realize that it probably won't be around for much longer. Like, that is a frustrating and very sad feeling. So, that's about it for me. I don't think there's anything else to talk about in this episode. That's it. So, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Do you want to see a Deathstroke show like I do? I'm pretty sure most of you do. But, let me know. We can talk about and discuss all that good stuff. Leave a like and subscribe for future Arrow reviews. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.